Welcome back to this lecture on GSM, the Global System for Mobile Communications. At the introduction, the GSM was developed by Group Special Mobile in 1984. It's a second-generation cellular standard developed to cater voice services and data delivery using digital modulation. GSM is a public land mobile network and its main aim is to replace the incomparable analog system. You may be surprised to know that there are almost 135 providers all over the world who use GSM with around 1,300 million subscribers. In India, we have about 45 million GSM subscribers. Services of GSM are varied. It provides various basic services which include the bearer services, telemetry services and the supplementary services. The bearer services allow data transmission, both transparent, non-transparent, synchronous and asynchronous. The telemetry services enable voice communication through and also non-voice services such as SMS, voice emails, etc. The supplementary services of GSM provide additional services like the call forwarding, automatic callback, conferencing, etc. Architecture. The GSM architecture consists of three important subsystems. In the diagram you can see that there are three subsystems, namely the RSS, the NSS and the OSS. Let's take a look at the RSS. In this diagram of the architecture of GSM, you can see the components of RSS, the components of the NSS and the OSS. Let's see what these subsystems are. Radio subsystem, which is generally called the RSS, consists of the radio specific components. In this diagram you can see that the radio subsystem consists of components like the mobile stations, the base station subsystem. The base station subsystem is nothing but the BTS and the BSC. The BTS is called the base transceiver station and the BSC is the base station controller. In the diagram you can see that two or more mobile stations are connected to a base transceiver station, and two or more base transceiver stations are in turn connected to the base station controller called the BSC, which controls any number of transceivers. And you can also note that there are a number of interfaces. Here you can see the UM interface, the A interface and the ABIS interface between the BTS and the BSC. Now let's go to the next subsystem, network and switching subsystem called the NSS. The main component of NSS and its functionality is switching, mobility management and of course the interconnection with other networks. The very first and foremost or core component of the NSS is the MSC, which is called the Mobile Services Switching Center. It controls all connections from the GSM network to the other BSCs. There are also databases maintained by the NSS, namely the Home Location Register and the Visitor Location Register. Let's take a look at what this Home Location Register is, or the HLR is. Now HLR is a master database containing data about all permanent and semi-permanent subscribers, and the VLR is a local database in contrast to the HLR, which contains a subset of the user data which are currently visiting a particular domain. The MSC, which is the heart of the GSM, involves switching, mobility management and of course you can find a GMSC called the Gateway MSC, which integrates and acts as a gateway from a GSM network to any other non-GSM network. Coming to the next subsystem, or the OSS. The OSS, as the name indicates, you can see that all the operations are controlled and monitored and supervised by this OSS. It enables centralized operation, management and maintenance of all the GSM subsystems. The important components are three. Number 1, it's called the Authentication Center or the AUC. Number 2, the Equipment Identity Register called the EIR. And number 3, the Operation and Maintenance Center called the OMC. The AUC, called the Authentication Center, generates specific authentication parameters. It works for providing security to the GSM subscribers. It makes use of functions like algorithms like and for encryption, key generation, and so on. Coming to the EIR, the Equipment Identity Register. It's a database that contains details of all IMEIs of all GSM subscribers. The IMEI stands for the International Mobile Equipment Identity. So all device identifications are stored in this register. Now this register details could be of 3 categories. 1, it could be a white list, a grey list, or a black list. Valid IMEI numbers and the corresponding devices are categorized as whitelist. There may be a few malfunctioning devices which are categorized as the grey list, and of course a set of stolen or locked devices under a category called the blacklist. Coming to the Operation and Maintenance Center, the OMC. The Operation and Maintenance Center monitors and controls all network entities through the O interface. The important functions are the traffic monitoring, status reports, security management, accounting and billing for the entire GSM architecture. To the conclusion, as you can see, GSM is the most successful second generation network. It provides 3 services, namely the bearer services, telemetry services, and the supplementary services. And of course, we've seen the 3 subsystems, namely the RSS called the radio subsystem, NSS called the network and switching subsystem, and the OSS called the operation subsystem. So GSM is primarily designed for voice transmission. But more data oriented systems have come up. So let's take a look at the GPRS in our next video. Thanks for watching. This is Esther signing off. See you next time.